Welcome back to Mike's Yoga channel and welcome to this yoga for Muay Thai fighters and kickboxers, focusing on the hips and the hamstrings. When you're ready, roll your mat, grab some water, and let's get started. Okay, so this video came as a request from my good friend Ronnie, so first and foremost, shout out to Ron. From here, let's come into a seated position, and from here, extend your right leg long, keeping this right foot flexed towards you. Hug that left foot into the right thigh. We'll come into a head to knee pose. So from here on your next inhale, let's bring the hands up towards the sky. Exhale, shift a little bit towards that right leg and then melt it forward. In this pose, we're really breathing into the back of this right leg, the calf, the hamstring. And see if you can go a little bit deeper with each exhale. And on your next exhale, mindfully release, roll it back up. We'll take it over to the other side. So extending this left leg out long, hugging this right foot into the left thigh. From here, on your next inhale, lift the hands up. Exhale, shift a little bit towards that left leg and then melt it forward. Again, really breathing into the back of the left leg here. And on your next exhale, mindfully release, roll it back up. From here, we'll come into a wide-legged forward fold. So let's extend both of our legs out wide. And if you feel any sort of pain or discomfort in the hips, chances are you've gone too wide, so you can just narrow your stance a little bit. From here, though, on your next inhale, let's bring the hands up towards the sky once again. Exhale, just melt it forward right in front of you. Keeping both feet flexed towards you here. Again, really breathing into the back of the legs as well as the hips. And on your next exhale, mindfully release. Good job, guys. From here, let's make our way into an extended child's pose. So let's bring our knees as wide as the mat, letting the big toes touch behind you. From here, start to walk your hands out long in front of you. You can let your forehead rest in the mat. In this pose, we're really breathing into the hips as well as the back body, the shoulders here. So option to stay here, or if you like, we can also walk our hands off just to the left of our mat. So doing this, you should feel a nice side body stretch in the right side. And then if you're up to the left, let's make our way over to the right. And if you're not already, let's come back to center. On your next exhale, let's shift forward. We'll come into a high cobra here. So stacking the hands right underneath the shoulders, extending the legs along behind you, pushing yourself up, keeping your core slightly engaged. Breathing here. And on your next exhale, let's curl the toes, shift the hips up. We'll come into a downward facing dog. In this down dog, let's keep our fingers spread wide. Hands are actively pushing into the mat. And then also feel free to pedal out your feet here. Again, really breathing into the calves, the hamstrings. Now from here on your next inhale, let's lift that right leg up towards the sky. Exhale, bend the right knee, step the right foot up in between the hands, lower the left knee down, left shoelaces down. Now from here on your next inhale, let's rise up, coming into a nice low lunge. So let's find our foundation here. So let's keep this right knee over the right ankle, and let's keep these hips in one line. So for some of us, we may have to draw that right hip back just a hair and bring this left hip forward. Core slightly engaged here as well. Awesome stretch for the hips and the psoas muscle. So option to stay here, or you can also take a twist if you like. To take a twist, let's bring our hands together at our hearts. And on your next exhale, simply twisting to the right, so letting your left tricep rest on top of that right leg. If you are in a twist, on your next exhale, come back to center. Take a breath here. And then on your next exhale, let's plant the hands down into the mat. And from here, keep sliding them down the mat, straightening out this right leg. We'll come into a runner stretch. So again, let's keep this right foot flexed towards you, breathing into the back of this leg. You can stay on the fingertips, or if you have a block nearby, you're welcome to rest your left hand on a block. Exhale, shift it forward, plant the hands, and let's step it back to downward facing dog. When you're ready, we'll take that over to the other side. So on your next inhale, lift that left leg up towards the sky. Exhale, bend the left knee, step the left foot up in between the hands, lower the right knee down, right shoelaces down. On your next inhale, rise up, coming into low lunge. So again, let's keep this left knee over the left ankle, and let's keep these hips in one line. So for some of us, we may have to draw that left hip back, bring that right hip forward. Again, option to stay here, or we can also take a twist. To take that twist, let's bring our hands together at our hearts. And on your next exhale, simply twisting to the left, letting that right tricep rest on top of that left leg. If you are in the twist, on your next exhale, come back to center, take a breath. And on your next exhale, let's plant the hands down into the mat. Keep sliding the hands down, coming into runner stretch on this side. So straightening out this left leg, keeping this left foot flexed. Exhale, shift it forward, plant the hands. We'll step it back to downward facing dog. Great job, you guys. Let's take a breath here. Now from here, let's heel toe, walk our feet up right behind the hands. And we'll take another forward fold here, so you can bend the knees as much as you like. Now from here on your next inhale, let's slowly but surely start to roll it up. Stacking the spine one vertebrae at a time. The chin is the last to lift. Coming into a mountain pose. Awesome job, you guys. From here, let's bring our feet as wide as the mat. And let's bring our hands together at our hearts. From here, simply sink the hips all the way down, coming into a yogi squat. So try and keep your back as straight as you can here. And when you're ready, let's make our way down onto our bums. And once we get down there, let's extend both of our legs out long in front of us, keeping the legs together. We'll come into another forward fold. So from here on your next inhale, let's reach the hands up. Exhale, melt it forward, grabbing onto the toes or the feet if you can. If you can't, that's okay. You can just let your hands rest where they naturally fall. On your next exhale, release, mindfully roll it back up. From here, let's make our way onto our backs. Take your time getting there. And then once we get to our backs, let's keep the soles of the feet planted in the mat. From here, we'll make our way up into a bridge pose. So on your next inhale, simply lift the hips up towards the sky. Shimmy your shoulders underneath you, clasping the hands together. Breathing here. And in this bridge pose, try and make sure your legs are in one line, nice and parallel with each other. You don't want them coming out wide, you want them nice and straight. From here on your next inhale, let's bring the hands up towards the sky. Come up onto the tiptoes. Exhale, slowly lower the spine back to the mat. Awesome job, you guys. Now from here, we'll come into a reclined pigeon pose. So let's start by lifting our right foot up off the mat and crossing it over the left leg. So we're making this figure four formation. And now from here, let's lift the left leg up off the mat, keeping both feet flexed. Left calf is parallel with the floor. From here, thread your arms around, grabbing hold of the back of the left leg. So you should definitely feel this in the right hip here. So option to stay here, or if you want to go a little bit deeper, you can keep the legs exactly where they are, but simply just bring the sole of the right foot down into the ground, keeping this right knee pointing up towards the sky. Hands can just rest on your torso. Wherever you are, slowly, mindfully come back to center. Lower the feet down. We'll take it over to the other side. So lifting this left foot up off the mat, crossing it over the right leg. Now from here, lifting this right leg up off the mat. Both feet are flexed. Right calf is parallel with the ground. Threading your arms through, grabbing hold of the back of the right leg. So now you should feel this in the left hip. Notice how this side is different. I know for me, this left hip is a lot more tight than the right. Again, option to stay here, or if you want to go a little bit deeper, you can keep the legs exactly where they are, but simply lower the sole of the left foot down into the mat, keeping this left knee pointing up towards the sky, hands resting on your torso. Wherever you are, let's mindfully come back to center. And from here, let's just release. Awesome job, you guys. From here, we'll come into a reclined butterfly pose. So simply bring the soles of the feet together, letting the knees open up wide, letting the hips open up naturally. A couple options with your hands. You can let them rest by your sides, or you can have one hand on your belly, the other one on your heart. I encourage you to close your eyes here as well. And now from here on your next exhale, let's extend the legs out long, extend the arms out long, coming into final shavasana, taking up some space here. Keeping the eyes closed, letting the mind and the body reap all the benefits from today's practice. So I encourage you to stay here for as long as you like, or if you're ready to go, you can rock up, coming into a seated position of your choice. And wherever you are, let's bring our hands together at our heart. Thank you all so much for sharing your time and your energy with me today. If you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe. From here, let's bring our hands up to our third eye. The light in me honors the light, and all of you, thank you so much. Namaste.